Hey, it's Chef Evelyn here, and I am super excited because I want you to save the day. So, I've been sharing about like transitioning and starting over and going back to cooking classes, and I'm so excited to announce that on Thursday, June the 27th, I am going to be doing a Build Your Cooking Class Business Boot Camp where we are going to be mapping out and designing and action planning your cooking class business in one day. Right. I'm super excited. So I think I've told you in a previous video that, I'm getting back to my first love, which is cooking classes, both for me and my own personal culinary career, but also for those of you who may be interested. So if you're like, yes, cooking classes has been on my list, or, I've been dabbling in cooking classes, but I really want to take it seriously, all of that kind of stuff, or anything, anywhere in between, this is the boot camp for you. I'm so excited. So the boot camp is divided into 5 parts, not 5 different days, but like there's 5 different like milestones that we're going to go over. So we're going to go over like setting your goals for your cooking class business, because you can use cooking classes in a myriad of ways. It doesn't have to be like, oh, my whole business is cooking classes, if you don't want it to be. Cooking classes, unlike a lot of different other culinary revenue streams, are very like flexible in that way, right? They can kind of fulfill a lot of different roles in your current business, or if you do want it to be the main thing, it can be the main thing. But we're going to talk about like setting the goals, because depending on what your goals are, it will depend on the kind of classes that you offer and how you do that. Then that's exactly what we're going to move into. We're going to move into like, okay, what kind of cooking classes should you do? Like there's 6 different formats, but then underneath those 6 different formats are like 20 different ways you can do cooking classes, right? And so, based on your skill set, based on the goals for your cooking class business, all that kind of stuff or whatever, we're going to be walking through what those formats are, right? So you can pick the best format for your business, and then you can go in and pick the best type of classes underneath that format, right? So you make sure that you have something very cohesive. And then we're going to get into, I have like a 8-part cooking class roadmap. We're going to walk through all the steps of like, here's how you build your cooking class business. We're going to get into like how to have repeat customers, how to stand out. Because when I first started doing cooking classes in 2009, 2010, right, one, you were only doing cooking classes in person, which is still one of my favorite ways. There were no virtual classes, and I did my first virtual class in 2010 before Instagram launched. Okay, with no audience, no social media following, whatever. So we're gonna talk about like what are those 8 steps that you need. We're gonna walk through those. That way you can kind of create an action plan of like, here's the things that you do have in place. Here's the things that you need to have in place. All that kind of stuff. Assign dates to that. I'm excited about that. But like I said, repeat customers, how to stand out, all that kind of stuff. Then we're going to I'm going to share with you 3 case studies, right? So one is going to be the case study of my first cooking class on how I made $500 with no audience, no social media following, no email list, okay, in 2010. Okay, there were no cooking class platforms. There was none of that. Then we're going to get into another case study of how I made in one cooking class what I used to make in a week. Right, which like I think when I experienced that, I was like, oh, I'm onto something. Right, when I was like, I'm making in one class what I used to make in a week. And the thing about it is you could probably do the same thing with catering or dinner parties, but to be able to like repeat that, right? Like, the time. Anyway, we're gonna get into all that. And then the third case study that we're going to get into is how I made $5,000 for a 45-minute cooking demo. Yeah. Right. And so at the end of this boot camp, and there's going to be lots of other stuff in there. We're going to get into like, why do people take cooking classes, so you can know how to market to them, all that kind of stuff. We're going to get into all of that. But what's great is at the end of this boot camp, you're going to leave with a plan for your cooking class business, right? So I'm super excited about it. I will leave the link to the boot camp below. It's going to be on Thursday. June the 27th. If you cannot make it live, don't worry. You're going to have a dashboard full of the course material. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, no worries, you can still log in and get everything that you need. So, but if you can make it live, I encourage you to make it live because the dialogue is going to be great, and just meeting other, culinary entrepreneurs and all that kind of stuff is going to be fantastic. So with that being said, I hope you can join me for Build Your Cooking Class Business Bootcamp, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.